Welcome back to Daily English Loop. I'm Alex, and this is the place where learning English feels relaxed, practical, and part of your real everyday life.
And I'm Lisa. Today, we're talking about something super useful, how to describe your day in natural English.
Yes, this is one of those topics that sounds easy, but in real life it can be surprisingly hard.
Exactly. Someone asks, "How was your day?" or "What did you do today?" And suddenly, your mind goes blank.
Even if you were busy all day.
Right. You cooked, worked, answered messages, went outside, had meetings, got tired, and did 100 little things.
But when it is time to speak, you just say, not much.
Which is why this episode is going to help a lot.
Today we're going to show you how to talk about your day more naturally, more clearly, and with a little more personality.
And don't worry, we're not going to make this too complicated.
No, we're keeping it simple, practical, and beginner-friendly.
But we're also going to make it richer, so you do not sound robotic.
Exactly, because saying, I woke up, I worked, I ate, I slept is correct.
But not very interesting.
Not very interesting at all.
So let's begin at the start of the day, the morning.
Good place to start. Lisa, what does your morning usually look like?
Honestly, I'm a morning person. My alarm goes off at 6, and I usually get up pretty quickly.
Wow, no snooze button?
Almost never.
I respect that. I am not like that at all.
Really?
Really? My alarm goes off at 7, and I usually lie there for a few more minutes.
Yes. The classic, just one more minute.
Exactly. And somehow that 1 minute becomes 10.
That happens to so many people.
It really does. So one useful thing here is how we talk about waking up. A beginner might say, I wake up at 7.
Which is totally fine.
Yes, very natural. But you can also say, my alarm goes off at 7.
That sounds a little more vivid.
Right, it gives more detail. You can also say, I get out of bed around 7:30.
Or, I start my day at 6.
Nice. That's a simple way to sound a bit more natural already.
After I get up, I usually open the curtains, make my bed, and drink a big glass of water.
That sounds very healthy.
I try.
After I get up, I usually go straight to the kitchen and make coffee.
Straight to the coffee.
Immediately, no emotional distance at all.
That is such a good everyday phrase, by the way. Go straight to.
Yes, I went straight to the kitchen. I went straight to bed. I went straight home after work.
Very useful. And then what?
Then I sit down for a few minutes and try to wake up properly. Sometimes I check my phone, which is probably not a great habit.
I think a lot of people do that.
Probably too many people.
I try not to check my phone right away. I like a slower start in the morning.
That gives us another useful phrase, a slow start.
Yes, you can say, I like a slow start in the morning. Or, today I had a slow start because I felt tired.
Very natural. After coffee, I usually take a quick shower and get dressed.
I do something similar, but before I get dressed, I usually make tea and do a little stretching.
See, that sounds calm. My mornings are less calm and more functional.
Functional is a good word.
Thank you. My goal is simply to become a person.
Honestly, fair enough.
So when you talk about the morning, some simple useful phrases are, I wake up at, I get out of bed, I make coffee, I take a shower, and I get ready for work.
Yes, get ready is a great phrase because it covers a lot of things at once.
Exactly. Instead of listing every tiny action, you can just say, I get ready for the day.
That sounds smooth and natural.
Okay, now let's move to the next part of the day, getting to work or starting work.
The commute.
Yes, another very useful word.
Commute means the journey between your home and your workplace or school.
So, Lisa, what is your commute like?
Luckily, I walk to work. It takes about 25 minutes, and I actually enjoy it.
That sounds lovely.
It is. It gives me time to think, listen to music, or just wake up slowly before the day gets busy.
I'm jealous. I usually drive, and honestly, traffic can be exhausting.
Oof, yes. Traffic changes your mood immediately.
It really does. Some mornings I arrive already annoyed.
That is very real.
So this is a good moment to add some feeling words. Instead of only saying, I drive to work, you can say, I drive to work and the traffic is usually frustrating.
Yes, or I walk to work and it helps me feel calm before the day starts.
That is one of the big secrets of sounding natural. Do not only report actions, add reactions.
Exactly. Tell people how the day feels, not only what happens.
So once you arrive at work, what happens next?
Usually, I sit down, check my schedule, and look at what I need to do first.
Same. I normally start by checking emails and organizing my tasks.
Organizing my tasks is a really useful phrase.
Yes, and another one is making a to-do list.
Or going over my schedule.
Nice. Those are everyday work expressions that sound very natural.
I think mornings are usually my most productive time.
Same here. My brain works best in the morning.
So if I have something important to do, I try to do it early.
That is a great phrase too. I try to do it early.
Yes, simple, clear, useful.
After lunch, though, everything changes.
Ah, yes, the afternoon slump.
Exactly.
I love that phrase because it is so real.
It really is. Around 2 or 3 in the afternoon, my energy starts to drop.
Same. I get sleepy, less focused, and a little slower.
So instead of saying, I feel tired in the afternoon, you can say, I usually hit an afternoon slump around 3.
That sounds more natural and more expressive.
It does. What do you do when that happens?
Usually, I stand up, stretch a little, and drink more water.
That sounds responsible.
Thank you.
I usually want sugar or more coffee.
Honest answer.
Very honest.
Do you ever go for a short walk?
Sometimes, yes, and it actually helps.
I think short breaks can really reset your brain.
Definitely. That gives us another good phrase. Take a short break.
Or step away from my desk for a few minutes.
Nice. That sounds very natural in a work conversation.
So now we have covered the morning, the commute, and the middle of the day.
Which brings us to one of the best moments, coming home.
Yes, that lovely transition from work mode to home mode.
I love that feeling.
Me too. When I get home, the first thing I do is change into comfortable clothes.
Same, immediately.
It's like telling your body, okay, the serious part of the day is over.
Exactly. Then what do you usually do?
Usually, I make dinner. Honestly, cooking helps me relax.
Really? Cooking stresses me out a little.
That's funny. For me, it's calming. Chopping vegetables, stirring something on the stove, listening to music, it helps me slow down.
That makes sense. For me, relaxing usually means sitting on the sofa, ordering food, and watching something easy.
Also very valid.
Thank you for supporting my lifestyle.
Always.
Here we have another great expression, unwind.
Yes, unwind means relax after a busy day.
So you can say, I cook to unwind, or I like to watch TV and unwind in the evening.
Such a useful word.
Very useful. Another one is switch off.
Oh, that's good.
I need some time to switch off after work.
I like that a lot. It sounds very natural.
And again, if you want to sound more human, add a little emotion.
For example, I was exhausted, so I just wanted to switch off.
Or, I had a stressful day, so cooking helped me unwind.
That is exactly the kind of detail that makes your English sound more real.
Okay, now let's talk about the end of the day.
The nighttime routine.
Yes, what does that usually look like for you?
I try to slow down about an hour before bed. I wash my face, make tea, and read for a little while.
That sounds peaceful.
I try to keep it peaceful. What about you?
Mine is less impressive. I usually scroll on my phone longer than I should.
Ah, yes, the dangerous late-night scrolling.
Exactly. Then I suddenly look at the time and think, oh no, I should already be asleep.
That happens to so many people.
It really does. So some useful nighttime phrases are, I wind down, I get ready for bed, I go to bed around 11, and I fall asleep pretty quickly.
Wind down is another excellent one.
Yes, very natural. I like to wind down with a book. I need time to wind down before bed.
And if you slept badly, you can say, I had a rough night, or I didn't sleep well.
Very useful for daily conversation.
I think one thing learners often do is list activities without connecting them.
Yes, and that can make the story sound stiff.
For example, I woke up, I had coffee, I went to work, I came home.
Grammatically okay, but not very smooth.
Right, so this is where simple connector words help.
Words like first, then, after that, and later.
These are simple, but they work really well.
Very well. For example, first I made coffee, then I checked my emails. After that, I got ready for work.
That already sounds much more natural.
And if you want a slightly richer style, you can also use once.
Such as, once I finish work, I usually go straight home.
Or, by the time I get home, I'm usually tired.
Nice. That sounds very natural in spoken English, too.
Another big improvement is adding small emotional words and reactions.
Yes, things like honestly, actually, wow, oh, oof, really, and luckily.
These little words make the conversation feel alive.
For example, instead of saying, I was tired, you can say, honestly, I was so tired.
Or, luckily, I got home early.
Or, oh, I was completely exhausted.
These are small things, but they change the tone a lot.
And they make you sound more like a real speaker and less like a textbook.
Exactly.
Okay, before we finish, let's try something fun.
I'm ready.
I want you to describe your day in a more natural way using some of the phrases we talked about.
All right, let me try. This morning, my alarm went off at 7, but honestly, I stayed in bed a little too long. Once I finally got up, I went straight to the kitchen and made coffee. After that, I took a quick shower and got ready for work. The traffic was pretty frustrating, so by the time I arrived, I already felt a bit tired. In the afternoon, I hit a slump and really needed a break. Once I got home, I changed into comfortable clothes, ordered takeout, and just tried to switch off. The best part of my day, though, was recording this podcast.
That sounds great.
Thank you.
It sounds natural because it is not just a list. You added flow, feeling, and a little personality.
Exactly. Your turn.
Okay, I got up at 6 this morning and luckily I felt pretty awake right away. First, I opened the curtains and drank some water. Then I made tea and did a little stretching before getting ready for work. My walk to work was really nice and it helped me start the day in a calm mood. I was busy all morning, but the afternoon felt a bit slow, so I took a short break and went outside for a few minutes. Once I got home, I made dinner and listened to music, which really helped me unwind. Honestly, the highlight of my day was this conversation.
See? That sounds smooth, clear, and human.
And not too complicated.
Exactly the goal.
So let's quickly recap the main ideas.
If you want to describe your day naturally in English, do not only list actions.
Use simple connector words like first, then, after that, later, and once.
Add useful daily phrases like my alarm goes off, get ready, take a break, hit an afternoon slump, unwind, and wind down.
And most importantly, add a little emotion.
Tell people how your day felt.
Tired, calm, busy, stressed, relieved, happy, relaxed.
Those feeling words make a huge difference.
Now it is your turn. Tell us in the comments what was the highlight of your day today.
Try to write 1 or 2 sentences in natural English.
And if you can, use a connector word and a feeling word.
For example, after work, I met a friend for dinner and I felt really relaxed.
We'd love to read your answers.
And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Daily English Loop. Thanks for spending this time with us.
Keep practicing.
Keep talking about your real life in English.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.